And we are back. It's a new episode of the Rebel Radio Podcast. Welcome to the show. And this is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long.
And it is late October as we are finishing up Halloween horrors this month and preparing for Halloween next week when the spooky ghouls and ghosts and girls and boys all come out for a little fun. And that should be a good time. And yeah, man, it's hopefully good weather. It looks like coming finally into Texas next week after some massive rainstorms are supposed to blow through here tomorrow. And
tonight.
We'll see. Yeah, starting tonight and tomorrow morning. And and then into next week. But the rebelradiopodcast.com for all your Rebel Radio needs before you go any further. And but yeah, man, it is spooky season. And, I'm got the kids' costumes lined up and be going to my brother's to hang out and all that. So it should be a good time. My oldest is upset that he's got to work, but I said, hey man, that's the life of a working man now. Life changed a little bit. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things for other things. And he said he just wants to call in. I said, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. That's not right. So, and so yeah, man. But he'll live and learn.
I'm glad you threw that in there.
Yeah.
The right way.
He's 16, he's almost 17. I mean, Halloween's fun, but it gets to a point where gotta grow up a little bit,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so this K-pop sensation is a thing. So Waverly's going to be a K-pop demon hunter character.
There we go.
And Wyatt is dressing up as a member of the Shield from WWE. So this should be cool. I had to order him a tactical vest off of Amazon so he can complete his outfit.
Nice.
And so he's excited. So, and I'm going to go as usual as Dad.
I am Dad.
That's right. The most powerful being there is.
Yes, I get to take your candy with the dad tax power.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know me. I've never been into the cosplay dress up thing. I mean, I appreciate it. It's just not my thing. I'm just more low key about it. I'm just not me.
It's because you haven't tried it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if I ever did do it, I'd have to be fully masked. I'd have to be covered where people can't look at me.
That's how I feel. Yeah. You'll be all right. You act like you're gonna get a heart attack just doing that or something like that. You'll be all right. Just try something once and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
The only annoying thing about it is that you'll get stopped constantly for people to take pictures with you.
That's exactly why I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah. When
I bought a really good Michael Myers mask. I bought the one from Trick or Treat Studios from Halloween Ends. And not my favorite Halloween movie, but it's like the mask is disgusting. It's decrepit, it's deteriorated, and I really like the look. And I went out and I got a real pair of coveralls, and there's a few people that stopped me and they were like, "Oh, Michael Myers!" So I wanted to take the picture. This year I'm going as Ace Frehley from Kiss. And get my face painted. Jackie's going to paint it. Got all black.
But you have no hair.
I've got a wig. And she's going to be Peter Criss. Now we're trying to incorporate the kids. We're trying to see if we can paint Joseph's face like Gene Simmons, and if Luke will be Paul Stanley, because Sammy wanted to be Jason Voorhees, so he's got his costume already. The other kids, they were like indecisive, so we just pulled them out of Spirit Halloween, or like pick closer to Halloween, go to on another date. So maybe we'll get their costumes this weekend if they push back. Yep.
Okay. Just to get some understanding out, Matt. I know you texted me the whole, Kiss thing on TikTok, but when we were texting about Ace Frehley dying earlier in the week, I forgot to mention that I hated Kiss.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
See? Man, long he's sitting there giving me shit about it. You don't even defend me, and now you come out.
Well, no, I was giving you shit because you lumped U2 with Kiss.
Yeah, I think that's how you ticked off Long and forced Long to, be the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I hated U2. I just said I never understood the appeal of them.
Oh.
I never said I hated any of those bands.
But yeah, I didn't realize how I knew I liked Kiss. I saw them. I played Kiss at that was the first song that I had play whenever they announced me and Jackie were married was Forever by Kiss. And we went and we saw them in 2012. But yeah, I didn't realize Tom Morello was that was my first Ace was my first guitar hero. And he had some good riffs. And I didn't know when Ace left the band, Slash was trying to audition for Kiss, but he was 17 years old at the time. And Paul was like, "Man, you're a little young for us." And so, they ended up going in a different direction. But when I saw them perform, they were already on their third guitarist. But pretty interesting. The people that came out. But yeah, didn't know you didn't like Kiss. Or didn't care for them.
I mean, I don't hate them or dislike them. They're just one of those bands I never understood the mass appeal of them. They were party rock,
Only old Gen X likes them.
Old Gen X.
Yeah. It's me and Mark, we're more the latter half of Gen X, where we got into the grunge,
Yeah, and in that era, you want to give me theatrical, dark metal, man. Give me, or I won't even say Kiss is dark metal, but theatrical metal, man. I'm more give me the Misfits or give me Black Sabbath. Those kind of bands I like better, man.
Yeah.
So
Sabbath, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, Maiden.
Yeah, Maiden had some pretty rad set pieces. I remember
and vocals.
And vocals. It's and their riffs are, I would say more iconic than Kiss. Hallowed Be Thy Name is probably one of my favorite guitar riffs ever from that era.
Well, I don't know if I'd say more known than Kiss, because Kiss became the sellout band. They had merchandise. I don't want to say sellout in a bad way. They had merchandise everywhere.
The live album,
albums, merchandise, toys, comic
disco
books.
album.
I mean, they had a fucking Marvel
movie. They had a movie. They made a movie where they had different powers.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, they were selling their songs to soundtracks everywhere.
Yeah. In fact, not a few years ago, they actually sold the band. They don't even own themselves anymore. So they've actually sold. Oh yeah,
Gene Simmons is all about how much money he can make.
Yep.
And I mean, Ace.
I didn't know he was Asian. Ace is actually Asian, of Asian descent.
Yeah.
But he was a pretty talented guitar player.
Which Asian? The rich Asian or the jungle Asians?
Hoi hoi. Yeah, that.
What the fuck?
The rich Asian. I think he's the rich Asian.
Long doesn't have his video. I have a feeling you're getting the fucking death stare right now, man.
I took that from.
Fucking rape you. I fucking rape
you. I'm dead.
That's fucking awesome.
I love it. I stole that from what's that podcast? It's called Best Friends or Worst Friends, or what I'm talking about? The redhead guy, and then there's the Asian guy, and they're always making fun of each other.
I'm so out of the podcast game right now, other than still listening to.
I only still on the You Should Know podcast with the one stupid guy and the one white guy, where they were arguing if the stupid guy says that humans aren't animals. And the guy says, yes, we are. And then it's like, okay. It's like, we are not animals like fish. You're not animals. Like, what are you talking about? Fish are animals, you idiot. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the only podcast I only listen to every week, and I'm going to give a shout out to him, is I do listen to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, which is Matt Cardona, who used to be Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, who used to be Kurt Hawkins. It's their podcast, and they talk wrestling figures and things like that. So I want to give a shout out. They do a contest where if you post a picture of garage beers are sponsored. I've been drinking garage beer lately, and so I posted a picture when we podcasted last week, drinking a garage beer right here.
There we go.
And they shared my picture, and I won their weekly contest.
Nice, man.
So I'm waiting for my stuff in the mail still. I'm sure it'll be some sort of garage beer merch, but so I thought that was kind of cool. So I give those guys a shout out for picking my photo.
This podcast sponsored to you by Garage Beer.
Yeah, I put on there drinking a garage beer while podcasting, and I won the contest this week.
So cool, man.
And if you watch last week's episode on their YouTube version, they put my picture up there about 30 minutes into the podcast. They're like, today's winner is Mark. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So,
man, you always get recognized. Who was it else that was it Mark Hamill that liked
I've been retweeted by Mark Hamill.
That's right. Yeah.
Kevin Smith, the official Pearl Jam account, retweeted me one time. A few baseball players and stuff, but that's not as sports stars now on social media is a pretty common thing. But Mark Hamill, Kevin Smith, Pearl Jam are probably the three most. Oh, Pedro Martinez, that was pretty cool.
Oh,
Hall of Fame pitcher. Because I was getting notifications on my phone. I'm like, what the hell? And it made me turn off my Twitter notifications because Pedro Martinez retweeted me, and I had a Twitter post that went viral.
dang.
Because it had to do with something during the playoffs, and I posted it. Yeah, Pedro Martinez said you're a bitch, and Pedro Martinez retweeted it, and I'm like, holy shit! The post went like insanely viral. So that was kind of cool.
People know me.
All right, let's do a little news, man. So long. You may have heard this. Godzilla's going to die.
Oh yeah, in the comics.
In Godzilla issue 6, and they are going to kill him off. And Toho has given them IDW the blessing to do this, and
Wow.
I'm sure there's going to be some twist to it. And but I thought that was interesting that Toho's very tight with their characters, and I'm sending y'all in a text the very cool homage cover to Superman number 77.
Yeah, I was about to mention
Or
that.
Superman number 75, I should say.
Yeah, I wish I saved that cover when they showed it off. Let me see. Yeah,
it comes out in January.
Wow.
The issue, and so thought that was kind of cool. See how that plays out. So apparently, Adam Driver was developing a Star Wars movie, The Search for Ben Solo.
Okay.
With Steven Soderbergh, and they pitched to Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm liked the idea, but the execs that write the paychecks, aka Disney, said no. And I thought, man, it's kind of sounds like it would have been a cool idea. It had to do with finding the essence of Ben's Force essence and searching for him from the sound of it, almost like a search for Spock kind of thing. And it would have taken place, obviously, after Rise of Skywalker. And
yeah.
It's been almost 2 years developing this for Disney. Just tell them no. Man, it just makes you sometimes think about what else is out there.
I thought Lucasfilm, they greenlit it, but yeah, and then Disney killed it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. A little bit of both.
Yeah. Whatever. As long as Adam Driver got paid for it, so.
And you see these rumors that the Batgirl film is not destroyed as thought, and there's some talk that it might get a max release sometimes next year.
I saw that.
That James Gunn's actually considering letting the world see it.
Please.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the people that did the work on it deserve to see it. Deserve to have their movie.
No matter how bad it is, I don't care.
Right. Hey, it's got fucking Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
I want to see it for that.
Isn't Brendan Fraser in it?
Brendan Fraser as Firefly, yeah. Yeah. So there's been some traction on that on the web lately, and hopefully that comes to fruition. I do think that if it happens, you're going to get David Ayer fussing again about let me do my Suicide Squad cut, which, hey, and for what David Ayer says, the Suicide Squad cut's basically ready. It just has to be released.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll watch it if he puts it out, And also in Star Wars news that David Fincher almost directed Rise of Skywalker. I don't even remember hearing that back when the movie was coming out.
Me neither.
I had no idea. When Colin Trevorrow was fired, I thought they went straight to J.J. Abrams. I never even knew they considered David Fincher.
David Fincher?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see him doing Star Wars. It's I don't know, man. He's more, the dramatic, darker films.
Small films.
Yeah, well, I mean, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a pretty big film, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's the type of movie you won't get studio interference from,
Right. No.
So,
yeah, I don't see him doing that either. Other than that, man, that was a little bit of the news that came out this week. Just some things. Oh, you didn't see Fantastic Four yet?
No.
November 5th, just a week and a half away. You'll be able to watch it on Disney Plus. So,
Stranger Things announced that they were gonna.
Yeah. The finale,
Yeah.
you can go see it in theaters. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to talk about that, man. Like, is there a market for that? I mean, when 90% of people have Netflix, is there a market to go see it? I guess it becomes an event thing. Go see it with your friends or go watch it in theaters and other fans. Because, like me personally, I'm not going to go pay $40 for tickets for everybody to go watch it in theater. I can just watch it.
Exactly. I'm with you. I've got a good enough sound system to where I can enjoy it in my living room. And it's like, to spend 40, 50, 60 bucks, depends on what snacks you're getting, I guess, is it worth it?
Right.
I'm sure they'll have like limited edition gear to pull you in, stuff like that. But you know what? I tried the Stranger Things cookies and they suck. I was disappointed. It's like they have the upside down cookies. It's like half and half.
Those Oreos or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's Chips Ahoy. It's Chips
Ahoy. I knew I'd seen
the Oreos were good. I think they had Oreos like last year or something. The Oreos were good, but the Chips Ahoy highly disappointing. I like Chips Ahoy. I like their chunky cookies, and I was like, man, this looks like it could be good, but it sucked.
What flavor again?
It's like a triple chocolate type of cookie, and Chips Ahoy makes it, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to try it out. And it was disappointing.
Did you see the run times on this last season? Like every freaking episode's like a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
hour
2
and
hours,
20 minutes, hour and a half. One is like 2 hours. So like, Jesus. I guess after all the long wait, they're giving you your money's worth, so hopefully this series doesn't disappoint. Some of these series get very hyped up over the years.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Some of these series get real hyped up. They end up being let down when we get to the finales, and so hopefully Stranger Things pulls sticks the landing, as they say.
Yeah. So I'm sending you guys the link to the cookies so you can look at them.
I mean, I work in a grocery store. I know I've seen them.
So, I was saying, like, speaking of streaming, freaking Warner Brothers announced that they are raising prices on their subscriptions effective immediately. I'm like,
damn.
And then I wrote on the news comments like, oh, well, canceling subscription effective immediately,
Canceling subscription. That's funny. But hey, man, it's like by the time these guys are done raising prices, it's like you're paying for cable again.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw a meme one time. It was like a Captain Planet meme, but it was Netflix instead of like Heart, and instead of Fire, it was like HBO Max, and had all these different streaming platforms. And it says, "With your powers combined, I am," and it's like the cost of cable. And it was like, damn it, right.
And in quick video game news, this is kind of going under the radar, but I think it's a bigger deal than things. Halo is going to be released on the PlayStation. It's a remaster. It's a remastered version of the original game with
the campaign.
with the campaign of the original game.
Yeah, it's a remaster from the ground up.
But that's interesting because they swore for years, it's an Xbox exclusive, and but anything for money.
I wonder if it was because we got Helldivers over on Xbox, and Helldivers has the Halo War Bond, which I thought is cool. And then now, we're going across the platform, and that's cool, man. Maybe we'll get The Last of Us eventually.
Fuck no, you can't have that game, bitch.
It's on PC, Steam.
Oh, that's true.
My all-time favorite game. Well, maybe second all-time favorite game behind Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, they're both on Steam.
But all right, man. So we're gonna stick with in that area of Marvel and comics. Man, I sat down this week and I watched all 4 episodes of Marvel Zombies. It's I like it, man. It's cool. Y'all should check it out. It's quick. Each episode's like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I think my one beef with it is they keep making these animated Marvel things and they adhere themselves to the MCU. So you don't have Wolverine in it. You don't have certain characters. And I wish they would stop doing that. If you're going to adapt this stuff, let's adapt it the right way. But that doesn't make it not good. It's still pretty awesome. I mean, it's bloody, but it's animated bloody. So you can watch it with the kids in the room, even though it's TVMA. It's humorous. It's got great action. But man, I actually really thought it was kind of cool. And it's left over with a cliffhanger, of course, because it's only 4 episodes. But you're looking for something Marvel to watch, and it's a quick watch on Disney Plus. I liked it, man. I thought it was pretty well done. I think there's some really cool moments that stand out in it. Like well, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, man, I didn't watch a lot. I did find that anime I've been watching, Phrasing. I found it uncensored on YouTube. And in English, which is quite nice, I will say, the uncensored version. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some great I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Boobage. But it's weird. The person who posted him, episode 8's not on there. So, and I'm at episode 8 right now. So I guess I'm going to have to watch the censored version of episode 8 to get the story and then come back and watch 9, 10, 11, and 12. It was weird. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have a good version of it. But so I basically started the show over and watched the first 7 episodes uncensored because I wanted to know what I missed. Got to get the good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's about all I watched this week, man. Took time to watch Marvel Zombies and rewatched the anime I've been watching.
Cool. Matt, how about you?
I played more Helldivers, and I watched. I hadn't done this yet, but Mark, I know you did this a few weeks when it came out. Is just rewatch Superman on the home screen. Did that, and appreciated the Peacemaker cameo, I guess, a little bit more, just because I think he's a hilarious character. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Man, I think I slacked this week. I think that might have been it. Just playing Helldivers and watching Superman. As I tried to watch Insidious 2, but like what sometimes happens on the show, whenever it runs a little late, I fell asleep while watching Insidious 2. And so I really don't remember much of it. So I can't really give that credit. Just so I'm going to have to finish watching Insidious 2 and see if I can complete that series in a week or so. Maybe by Halloween's end.
Cool. Well, as I mentioned earlier before we started recording that I paid off all of my revolving minimum credit card that involves a minimum payment and all that. And it's like, wow. So this is what financial freedom feels like,
Nice.
And then so I splurged and got myself a freaking Nintendo Switch 2.
Nice, man.
That's a big splurge.
Yeah, and transferred all of my games from the original Switch. And to put it in context, I bought the Switch launch system, version 1.0. And since then, they have version 2.0, Switch Lite, and then Switch OLED. And so the Switch 2 is definitely a step up from the launch system. And some of the games I remember, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, had some choppy frame rates, and now I'm playing those games on the Switch too. It's like, oh wow, this is silky smooth now. Yeah. So
Good graphics, huh?
yeah. So yeah, I've been playing around with it, and yeah, it's a pretty nice screen. The screen on it's actually larger than the Steam Deck screen I have, and that's a big machine. But yet somehow it's lighter than the Steam Deck. So, but yeah. Uh, I don't know if I bought. Oh, and tried out the new Super Mario Kart game on there. So open world racing, which is kind of cool. They've never done that before.
I was wondering how they can make that game and make it a little different than the other ones,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's what I did. And hopefully this weekend I'll try to read Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe trade paperback I got. I heard it was funner to read than the DC Godzilla book. So
Yeah.
we'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm off work this week, so I'm hoping I can get some time to watch a couple things.
Andor.
Yeah, I want to try to maybe get out of the house one day and maybe go take in Tron by myself, because I know the reviews weren't great, but I kind of want to see it on the big screen just because the visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think I have a couple free tickets on the app, so it won't cost me nothing if I go. But yeah, all right, man. Well, let's get into our final horror movie of the month, and then we got a little top 5 coming up afterwards. We just talk our top 5 personal favorite horror movies. But this is a movie that it feels like 2 years in the making to do it on the podcast, and we just kept not finding space for it, or it wasn't streaming, and we're cheap asses and didn't have to rent the fucking movie. And so it's been on HBO Max this year, and this is a movie that I actually think is pretty fucking good, really. I mean, I think it doesn't get enough credit towards the vampire genre, and that is the Anne Rice film adaptation. The film adaptation of Anne Rice's novel, I should say, of
Yes.
Interview with the Vampire, directed by Neil Jordan and starring Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And this came out in 1994, so this is a pre-Oscar Brad Pitt. He's very young at the time when he made it, and Tom Cruise, of course, is Tom Cruise at the time, and who he is, a very unpopular casting choice by Anne Rice fans. At first, Anne Rice herself, but he proved his critics wrong with this movie. And I guess I'll sum it up. I haven't done a movie summary in a while. Essentially, it's a story of Louis, who wants to speak with a author and tell his life story, essentially. And he tells his life story about being born in the 14th century. And was it the 14th century? Yeah. Or Lestat was born in the 14th century.
No, yeah, Lestat was born older than that.
And it's more like the 17th century, I think, because Lestat had been a vampire for 3 years, I believe, right? And when he makes Louis become born.
300 years.
And so how Lestat turns him into a vampire, and his adventures and his life at becoming a vampire through the eyes of Louis, telling the author this story. And it unfolds before our eyes over several years of him finding what it means to be a vampire, and does the search for where his immortality comes from, and the search for answers, and the search of to me, it's almost the search of finding belonging in your new life, and choosing whether to live or whether you still want to die. Because as a young boy, Louis just had a death wish. At 24 years old, he just didn't want to live, and he still didn't really want to live, and he had to find a reason to live, but he couldn't die anymore because he was immortal. So it's fair to say it's almost a coming of age vampire story.
Yeah.
Which is it does take a lot of liberties from the novel, but it's also still pretty close to the novel, from all understanding. And and this is the first novel in the series. And it was originally they had plans to make this into an entire movie series, and it just didn't go that way. And they did make one other film a few years later called Queen of the Dam, which is a mix of the Vampire Lestat book and Queen of the Dam book all mixed into one movie, which is a completely different film than this film, by style and actors and everything. But we're talking Interview the Vampire today, and I think I first saw this. I don't know why I didn't see this in theaters. I probably saw it at home on video a couple years, maybe a year or two after it came out. And I thought it was interesting. You got to go back to 1994, 95. Matt, you were young at the time, but for me, my introduction to vampires had been like the Universal Horrors Dracula film, The Lost Boys, classic. I had never seen a vampire movie like this that it showed them in a different light. They're wearing clothes like we wear and living amongst us, and not living in castles, and and just trying to find a way to live their lives. It was a very different take on vampires, and Anne Rice gets a ton of credit for creating a lot of vampire mythology, and because of her books, and I thought that the movie was just a really new take on it. It was more because at this point, vampires have been told as killers or horror stories, and weren't really romanticized except in the original 1931 film. And this movie definitely romanticizes them more. It makes them characters instead of villains, even though they are villains in some way.
Yeah,
that all makes sense. And I just remember that being my first reactions when I first saw this.
I thought this movie was pretty gay when I watched it then, and then it's like, dang, I've forgotten how much homoerotic overtones there is still, in this movie too, because and I never got over how weird Brad Pitt's eyes look with the contacts.
He hated it. He hated having to wear the contacts. He begged with the director to make him not wear them.
Yeah, and but Tom Cruise is good in it.
Dude, he's great.
Yeah.
Even
it's like, it's so funny. Like, we're watching a period in Tom Cruise's acting career where, it was definitely a lot less action and more drama, and usually actors start with, they start with action, and when their bodies start getting old, they do drama, but apparently Cruise did it in reverse.
Yeah,
where he does a lot of drama films and then goes into action in his latter part of his life.
He was fresh off of A Few Good Men, I believe.
He
done Top Gun,
The Firm,
Days of Thunder. I guess is.
This is almost 10 years after Top Gun, because that was 84. This is 94.
The Firm,
or 86 was Top Gun.
Yeah. Still Magnolia. Was it Still Magnolia? No. What's that? PT. Anderson?
No, that was Magnolia, but that was more like early 2000s, mid.
No, that was early late 90s. Yeah. But yeah, I actually watched this movie on Tubi after I canceled my Max subscription. So it was still available on that. So, but yeah. Kirsten Dunst was really good in this film as a child actor, and her story was tragic, and it's kind of funny too when the origin of the book, what inspired the writing of this book, was that Anne Rice had a daughter who died of leukemia at a very young age.
She was 5, I think.
Yeah, that's very young. So, in some way, that inspired the character in the movie. But rewatching the film, I thought it was pretty entertaining. So.
Yeah. I can't remember watching this film ever. Jackie claims that we've seen it together before, but I didn't remember. So it's almost like a first time watch to me, I guess, because I didn't remember a lot of it. So watching it again, it's I definitely feel like the casting choices were good, even though Anne Rice didn't get her way with a lot of them. Slater is cast instead of River Phoenix. River Phoenix had unfortunately passed away, so Slater was cast, and he donated his $250,000 to Phoenix's charities that he liked. And Daniel Day-Lewis turned down the part for Lestat, and the studio refused her second bid at Jeremy Irons. And like Mark said, there was a lot of backlash from the fans, which was stoked by Anne Rice as well. But Cruise did such a good job, and at the time, he did have some good acting bouts dramatically, but just the way he approached the role and practiced different ways of biting people to try and portray different emotions. Stuff like that. I think he did a good job of proving everybody wrong, and I think Anne Rice even redacted her statement afterwards. I think Antonio Banderas is probably, which is weird for me. This is one of the weaker ones for me because of how good everyone else is.
Well, I feel like, not to cut you off, I feel like his part is cut down. Like, I wonder if there was some stuff on the cutting room floor, because like they introduce him and he's super important. Then he kind of disappears from the film towards the end.
Yeah, and his friends are kind of like there, and they do, of course, the gruesome thing of killing Claudia because she killed Lestat, or quote unquote killed Lestat. And Banderas can't save or unearth Pitt in time to save them, so he burns them all. And Banderas is like, "It's cool, they're pieces of shit, so go ahead and do it."
I thought Banderas was the leader of the group.
Well, I thought he was too, but in the movie, Pitt's character Louis asks him, and he said, "Well, if there was a leader, I guess I would be them." And but I guess the group has no leader, is what he's saying, maybe. But yeah, I was surprised watching the film that's how it went down. That they were just gonna put Pitt in the wall and put Claudia in the sunlight chamber and have her in the newly made vampiress, burned to death from the sunlight. But yeah, I think the film, I've never read the book, but apparently a lot of dialogue is taken from the book. Instead of burning down the plantation, I guess like a lot of New Orleans is burnt down as a result.
It's based on it's based on a semi-real event of a burning in New Orleans at the time. Yeah.
Okay. So, but I feel like watching this film and watching current things, like Vampire Diaries. Right, I did watch Vampire Diaries with Jackie, and one of the things in Vampire Diaries to turn somebody, you can't turn somebody just by biting them and drinking their blood. They have to give you the vampire blood from them, and then you have to die. So in this movie, the characters die, right? They die a mortal death and become immortal. And that's what happens in Vampire Diaries. They die a mortal death and become immortal. The one thing that I haven't seen replicated is the drinking blood of dead people, which man,
no.
Yeah. I don't know what film I could attest that to, but
doesn't in the Let the Right One In, she tells him that.
Oh, maybe so.
I think there is another movie or two that mentions it.
Maybe that's right. But yeah, I think Kirsten Dunst is such a strong character. It definitely, like Long says, it's it's a breath of fresh air for the child actors, that you normally see, and she's holding her own with everybody else on screen, and she does a good job of, even though she is a child, she is outwardly very mature and does things that an adult would do, and rightfully so finds a way to outsmart Lestat and poison him, and throw him in the swamp with Louis's help.
And then she didn't even see the film until almost 10 years later. Her parents wouldn't let her watch it.
I saw that. I guess because it's pretty violent at the time.
Yeah.
There's blood drinking.
Yeah, I mean, she was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one critique that some people have, the boy that helps Lestat is actually older in the book, and in the book that character gets a like an erection whenever Louis feeds off of him, and so people were like,
you picked up on that detail.
Yeah. Boners. So I guess there was a speculation as to this is a child, and that's the character that they chose to portray that person who gets that after he's been fed on. But no, they didn't highlight that in the movie, right? They didn't highlight that. I didn't catch on that. Yeah,
there were no child boners in the movie.
Yeah, which would be very, very weird if that was in there. But yeah, and then the woman in the theater. So that whole thing is weird to me. But it's part of the book, I guess. The vampires pretending to be human, pretending to be vampires. And then they actually feed on the woman in front of people,
right,
that are in the theater. The pop culture references are fun. I like seeing a little clip of Superman in the film whenever Louis is talking about the sunrise and being able to finally see one.
Yeah, apparently that's a theme throughout the other books. Is like Louis is a big movie fan.
Yeah.
And I liked performances by Pitt and Cruz, everyone in it, and even Antonio Banderas, who seems odd in this film because him what we know now, but this was a standout role. He got Desperado because of this,
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so kudos to him. I kind of always wanted him to make the sequel because Tom Cruise's Lestat is very much how Lestat is. Like in the books, Lestat goes on to start revealing vampire secrets of the world. He becomes a rock star, and the other vampires get pissed off at him. Where if you watch Queen of the Dam, it happens in that movie. He puts on a concert in Death Valley, and all the vampires show up and try to attack him. The movie's not great, but I like Queen of the Dam because there's some really cool stuff in it too.
Yeah,
great soundtrack too. For that
Disturbed,
movie.
Right?
Yeah, Disturbed.
Yeah,
Jonathan Davis from Korn. Lots of good people in the soundtrack, and so so the books, I mean, go back shit crazy as it goes forward, and the vampire Lestat is told from Lestat's point of view, where he tells the same story Louis told, only his from point of view up to modern times, where he becomes a rock star. And then the Queen of the Dam, he pisses off the Queen of the Vampires by holding the concert, and she shows up in the Queen of the Dam to try to take out Lestat because he pissed her off. So it becomes like this vampire war.
Dang.
And then so there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, and now they have the TV show on AMC. I don't know if it's still going, but they have Interview the Vampire TV show, and but a very popular series of books and the film, a couple of films and a TV show, and but it definitely, Anne Rice gets a lot of credit for changing the vampire genre to what we have now. The whole idea of gothic vampires exists because of Anne Rice, and that's a fact. Before then, vampires, like we said, were what we saw in movies, and she created the gothic atmosphere for them, because of this film. But I like Interview the Vampire quite a bit. I think rewatching this week, it holds up very well, 30 years later. Good performances, good art direction. I mean, it was nominated for an Oscar for art direction. And
wow.
This movie was made for $60 million, and it looks like it takes place in the 1700s. It's incredible. The
costumes were good. Yeah.
Very well done. But I think it's a solid film. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a solid, pretty solid A-. I think it's a very good vampire film. But strangely, not my top 5 horror films we're fixing to do.
Yeah, not in my top 5, but I give it an A. I think
if I was doing top 5 vampire movies, it would be in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. If we were exclusively vampire films, it would be this along with Let the Right One In, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and a couple others. But yeah, dude, this film, it was fun watching it. Whether I watched it before or not, I don't know, but it was cool watching Cruise and Pitt and Dunstan and Banderas on screen.
And a young Thandie Newton. A young Thandie Newton's in this film at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, I guess I didn't catch that.
Yep, she plays his Lestat's house help at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
yep. She's much younger. Yep.
Yeah, I give it a B-. Didn't enjoy it as much as you two guys did, and but it was still entertaining.
Yep. All right. Well, let's finish out our Halloween Horrors Month with a top 5 of our favorite horror movies. And I had a little bit of rules with this. I tried not to. I tried to stay away from like too much science fiction horror, even though I do have one science fiction.
Hey man, horror is hard.
I know, but I wanted to go more like classic horror. But I have a pretty good variety, I think.
What is it? Top 5 horror movies?
Yeah. Or our favorite
scary scenes, or what? You weren't really specific with the top 5.
Our top 5 favorite horror movies.
Yeah, I took it as horror movies, and I almost went on a tangent and like started picking it as like a franchise, and I was like, oh no, it's movies, and so I just stuck with my top 5 favorite movies.
Oh, I thought you meant top 5 horror movies.
He's
not horror movies.
He's like Runaway Bride. oh no.
Best damn whorehouse in Texas.
Best damn whorehouse.
I have to take that off the list.
Anywho,
Pretty Woman.
I guess I'll kick it off. Man, you know what? I just wrote these down and really put them in order. But I'm going to put this at number 5, and it's a nostalgic favorite for me. I know we did this on the podcast. I didn't like it as much as I did, but that's The Monster Squad. It's a movie I watched.
A horror movie.
Huh?
Nice.
No, I'm
it's a horror movie. The little girl's terrified at the end. It has Dracula and Frankenstein, and it's in the horror genre. It's a classic for me. I try to watch it at least once a year. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Halloween for me. I just love this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's the Goonies with monsters, and it's fucking awesome. So it's my number 5.
Are we talking about films that scare us too?
Just your favorite horror movies. It doesn't have to scare you.
Horror movies, buddy. Carrie,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll
go next. I'll let you sit on it long.
Yeah.
I've got The Thing at number 5, and it's become more and more of a favorite to me. I try to watch it once a year, but I definitely, I want to say I watched it earlier this year, and I definitely watched it last year. But I like Russell in it. I like the body horror stuff, being taken over, and of course the animatronics was just ahead of its time. Good stuff, and Carpenter is one of the best to ever do it.
Okay. Well, my number 5 is the first ever horror movie I've ever watched as a kid, and it's Poltergeist.
Oh, nice.
3-year-old kid watching that film was quite scary. The scariest scene to me was definitely the tree that came to life and snatched that boy from the room.
I want to do that. I want to do that on the podcast, but it's never streaming. But it finally got a digital release. I noticed that. It's on Vudu now, and it's like $5. It didn't even have a digital release for a long time. So hopefully someone picks this thing up and it starts streaming.
Yeah.
It's
number 4, Mark.
I know you're absolutely right. I don't have Poltergeist on my list, but I remember being a kid and watching that. The tree scene,
Yeah.
fucking frightened me.
Yeah.
At number 4, I have Matt's number 5. I have The Thing also. Just that's one of my sci-fi picks I have on here. Just to this day, the practical effects are terrifying. I mean, truly it's the idea of the unknown in a scientific expedition, and it gives you some thoughts into, even in the real world, what could be out there that we don't know about. What's in the oceans, what's out there in the Antarctic, and there's this horrifying thing from another world that attacks them, and it's a great film.
Nice.
Number 4, Mark.
Oh, that was Mark. For me, Hellraiser. I have to put this on here. I proposed to Jackie watching this film.
It's like the 10th time we've heard this story on the podcast.
Yeah,
in 12 years,
and you'll hear it again. I
This
hope
is like the first time for me.
Really, you've never heard it? Come on, dude.
I hope
Doug might get it.
I hope Doug Bradley comes to.
I forget it each time he talks about it. No, I'm joking.
But I like the. It's I would say it's almost supernatural. They're supposed to be demons.
Almost
or angels. Yeah.
It is fucking supernatural.
Well, I think
Pinhead doesn't exist.
And versus like a Michael Myers type or Poltergeist, where it's like literally a phantasm. But yeah, I like the Doug Bradley's portrayal of Pinhead and the mystery of the box and the skin snatching and all that. It's good stuff.
My number 4 is going to be Blair Witch Project. That was a found footage film. First time I've ever seen a film of its kind like that, and left an impression on me. The scary scenes weren't the ones that creeped me out. One of the scenes that creeped me out the most was the this backstory while they were leading up to the campsites. About like all the rituals that were happening, and the storytelling through that, the exposition through that was pretty good. Of course, and then the scary stuff started happening, and it just at that time made me feel like, ooh, this is pretty immersive, so pretty intimate as well. So
credit for starting its own subgenre.
Yeah, and I remember hearing how people were doubting if this was a fake movie or not.
Yeah.
It's like, is this real or fake? This is pretty darn real, and that even on the budget was what, $4,000.
Yeah, and it played film festivals and small markets first to build that mystique before it hit wide release. I remember.
Yeah. It was like the breakout film at the Sundance Film Festival as well.
Was it? What year was that?
1998 or 99.
So was that one of the first films to kind of start using viral marketing through its build up and people thinking it was real?
Possibly.
It could be.
I want to say.
At number 3, man, I have Let the Right One In, the Swedish vampire film, and such a modern classic. I mean, this is a movie I think years from now people will recognize it as a vampire classic. And it was remade, of course, by Matt Reeves, which is its own film that's just as good. But you got to give credit to the OG, and Let the Right One In is such a great film. Definitely gives you new ideas to the vampire genre, challenges your ideas of the vampire genre by introducing a child as a vampire and her relationship with the young boy, and just a solid movie, man. It's a movie I've turned several people and have gone to watch it and come back and like, wow, thank you for telling me to watch that because it was really good.
Yeah, it's
Swedish
good.
meatballs,
and I like both of them. I like
both are good. Yeah,
Let Me In and Let the Right One In. Number 3 for me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre '74.
Fuck that movie.
You knew it was going to be on this list for me. I like the character of Leatherface. The chainsaw is terrifying, and turning people into barbecue is also terrifying because I want my brisket to be cow. And
never watch it again.
Yeah.
Ever.
And Mark, you said you were pretty impressed by how you thought they didn't show the violence explicitly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's terrifying without being gory.
Yeah, they cut away.
I mean, that movie literally had me with my feet up on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like it at all. Well, I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but it frightened me.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Made you cry for your mommy.
Yes, man. I was like, I called my mom the next morning. Mommy, baby, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Get a call in the morning. What did you do?
This next film is kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but in the early to mid 2000s, there was this movie that really scared me as an adult, and it was the Grudge remake of the American version. People didn't like the American version as much as the original Japanese version of the Grudge, but I liked it. I thought it was well made, and it was a very that the Grudge and the Ring were both scary movies without having to depend too much on jump scares and stuff.
I saw The Grudge in theaters with somebody. It might have been Frank. I don't remember. And obviously, it's not something I probably would have gone and seen. You guys know that about me, but I saw it with someone. And I went home and turned on every light in the house because the fucking noise those creatures made had me really spooked.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about The Grudge.
Yeah.
And number 2, man, I have it's my favorite. Yeah, I'm not as big into slashers as Matt, but it's an all-time classic, and that's Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it's one that I don't mind rewatching. I think it's fantastic. Robert Englund's great. We've covered it on the podcast. I don't know what else to say about Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's my personal favorite slasher film of all time, and I think Freddy Krueger's a really cool, interesting character compared to a lot of other slashers with his dream powers and everything he can do. And a franchise that I think is begging for a proper reboot and not make it stupid. Do something fresh with it. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely in the 80s for me. He was my boogeyman. You know, he was number one on my list of if Freddy Krueger came after me, I'm just going to stand there and just die.
Right.
I'm not going to run. I'm not going to even bother. I'm just going to die. Just lay down and Freddy, just kill me, dude. I'm not going to even bother trying.
Right.
I'm not going to fight you. So
I get you.
Yeah, that was how determined I was about how scared I was about Freddy.
That's who I have as number 2 as well. I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street 3 because I don't know. Part of me is more entertained by some parts of that film, but I feel like the first one is more terrifying because Freddy has there's some sick humor there, but I think his he's only in the film like 20 minutes, I want to say, and he's in the shadows and everything. They mainly just talk about him, and for him to have that effect on you just by watching that first film, I think is speaks volumes to some of the other things that go on in that film, like the camera work, the blood that they use gallons and gallons and gallons of blood and film the room upside down to get that one shot of Johnny Depp being just shredded in midair. It's awesome. So yeah, man, Wes Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mark, what's your number 1? Oh, what is mine?
You haven't done your number 2.
Oh, number 2. Dang. My number 2 is actually Hellraiser.
There we go.
It ticks all the boxes for body horror and some genuine scary moments.
So you came around to it after not wanting to. You were scared to watch it on the podcast.
Yeah, I came around to it because you and I, we were freaked out about that movie. We saw it a couple years ago, and it's like, man, this movie's disturbing, man. But we have to kind of finish the fight with Hellraiser 2, the following year. But and then when we finally watched Hellraiser 2, I found myself not liking it as much as the first movie, which is surprising. But I felt the first Hellraiser was really good. And I still think about it. And I try to recommend it to my brother, get his reaction from it, because he loves this type of horror movie. But yeah, it's definitely my top 5, and deservedly so. And another one, I'm kind of cheating. I'll go with an honorable mention real quick. Jeepers Creepers. That's a very interesting horror movie in itself.
It was inspired by a America's Most Wanted story.
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers, the ending to that film left a pretty strong impression, because one of the lead heroes actually dies,
Mm-hmm.
So
Justin Long, right? And Justin Long?
Justin Long.
I think my number one, I'm going to throw. I wasn't doing this originally. I'm going to throw a little loop here. I have 2. One is a golden age classic, because I think the Universal Monsters films, The Wolfman has always been my favorite. But as far as modern films, 28 Days Later, I think it's a modern masterpiece. I think it's one of the best zombie films ever made. I think it's truly frightening in a lot of ways, because it feels so real worldish, like what if this shit happened, and Danny Boyle's direction is incredible. The way the film plays out, and really good performances. It's one of those horror movies where, like, man, the actors are acting their asses off. Like, it's really good. It's not just throw it like we did Dawn of the Dead a couple weeks ago. While it's fun and entertaining, like, you can tell they're in a horror movie. They're not trying real hard to act. Where 28 Days Later, man, you go on this ride with these people, and the acting is so good in it that it terrifies you as a viewer. And I think 28 Days Later it's just freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's one of those. That's another one where if we did like top 5 zombie films, it would be there 100%.
There's not. I mean, you can give all the credit in the world to George A. Romero's Nightmare for Night of the Living Dead. It's the all-time classic. It's the one that started it all. But 28 Days Later is the most superb zombie film probably ever made.
Exactly. For me, I have to go with the film that I saw whenever I was like peak interested in horror movies. From probably my I guess I could say it's my favorite director of horror, and that's Scream. That's Wes Craven's Scream. I credit it with kind of reviving horror in the 90s. It had become a trope, and this movie uses those tropes as almost a sick, twisted, comedy type of thing that turns into one of the classic horror films of my generation, our generations, and it's been spoofed a couple other times. It's got one of the Scream Queens in it, Neve Campbell.
And I'm gonna, I texted you guys saying I bet I could predict Matt's list, and all 5 of the films he picked were one of the ones I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I don't know if I thought The Thing, but I knew.
I was about to say
Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw, Scream, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those 4 I knew without a doubt. I thought maybe Halloween. I thought Halloween would be the 5th one.
I wanted to say Halloween as a honorable mention.
Though. Good Lord.
I like them, and I do like the Friday 13th stuff, but if I have to pick 5, what I do is I try and figure out what 5 movies I would take with me on an island, and that's all I could watch, and that's how I picked mine. Long, buddy. That's what's up, buddy?
My number one. It's going to be an odd one, because there's actually some creepy stuff that happened after I watched this film. And it has to be the exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh yeah, based on a true story.
Well, it also had the recording of the actual exorcism in the film as well.
Yes,
an audio recording. That movie freaked out me and my then ex-girlfriend or wife, and I kid you not, like that movie freaked us out so bad. Like when we went to bed, and then we both woke up at like the witching hour, which is what 3:33 a.m. in the morning,
Right.
and we literally heard some weird sounds coming from our kitchen.
Oh
And we
no.
didn't have any like cats back then.
I've never seen it. I don't tend to like those kind of occultish type movies. So I kind of stay away from them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that film. I don't remember much of that film except for my emotional, visceral reaction to it. And then, yeah, later on that night, we just started hearing some funny sounds coming from the kitchen. We didn't have any rats. We didn't have any pests. We lived in an apartment, and yeah, it was freaky. It happened at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, that shit happens, man. One time I watched like this docudrama about like an alien abduction.
Yeah.
And then like I swear I'm seeing lights outside my window at night and stuff. It's like fucking freaking me out and I couldn't sleep, man,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I put it at number one. It's like the only time I ever watched a horror movie where some weird unexplained
Exactly.
sounds started happening that night.
Fuck.
But if I want to go popular, I'll go with like Jaws as my number one, since it scared like the entire movie watching audience in the summer to not go in the water. And then I was kind of freaked out by the water too because of that film. So
Yeah. Good list, guys. Good list. Everybody with some different stuff. It's good to see all the different opinions and people like. And good. All right, man. Well, the horror is over for the month of October. As next week we move forward into some fun stuff for the last couple months of the year. I do think, man. I think we got some good movies coming up, and we're going to kick it off with a safe film after all this bloody violence, and do something that a movie I've always seen one time, and I've always kind of wanted to rewatch it because I actually saw it in theaters and kind of liked it. And it's a Hugh Jackman film. And Matt, I know you get excited when Hugh Jackman is on the podcast.
Huge.
But
Jackman.
it's a futuristic boxing movie called Real Steel. I just remember seeing this and being a fun movie, and I thought it'd be something. And I was going through Disney Plus the other day. I was watching Marvel Zombies, and I saw it was on there. And I'm like, that'd be something fun and lighthearted to do after all this blood and violence, and to get back onto a safe path of films as we move towards the holiday season. So we'll do that next week on the show. And have you guys seen it before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
It's got Sigourney Weaver, right?
I think so. Yeah. I know, like I said, I think I saw it once. I remember seeing it like in theaters, and I don't know if I ever watched it again, but I remember liking it. And
Or am I thinking of Choppy?
We'll see if Chappie, Sigourney Weaver's in Chappie.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I may have not seen it then. I'll have to let you know next week.
Yeah, it's got robots boxing and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I remember people were saying like, what? That's a weird concept. And it ended up being a very good, successful film in the box office, despite all the people doubting it.
2011. So it's not super old. Yeah, it gets a 7.1. I mean, so it's on Hulu and Disney Plus, so it's easy to watch. And Evangeline Lilly from Lost is in it.
Okay.
Anthony Mackie's actually in it.
Oh.
So yeah.
Couple Marvel guys. Oh, all three Marvel people.
So, yeah. Directed by Sean Levy, who... What else has he directed? Did he direct Deadpool? Oh,
I thought it was Sean Miller or something Miller. Ted Miller.
Or something, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, man. So we're going to do that next week on the podcast to kick off the month of November. And until then, the Rebel Radio Podcast.com, as always. And we thank you for listening. And this has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long.
And remember, as always, until next time, just go there and do it.
And do it.